All right. Getting everything all set up here. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. I'm again getting everything all fixed up here. Want to make sure that our connections are good. Thank you. Getting some confirmations from the technical aspect of it. Hold on 1 second. Let me do this. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining on the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. I'm Robert A. Lane, your host, and welcome because we do this stream live on three platforms all at the same time. Love it. We have our friends there on Instagram. Thank you. Welcome. We have YouTube as well on Robert Lane Coaching on my YouTube channel. We are streaming live. And of course, on LinkedIn, we're doing LinkedIn Live. Love talking to our friends out here in the business world who spend their time on LinkedIn as well. This is the definitive place to hang out if you're an author, if you're a nonfiction author, and you have the inclination of turning your published nonfiction book into an audiobook. Maybe you've thought about it and you're considering it. I highly recommend that you do that. And the thing is, if you have any inclination to do it, let's talk. I'm an audiobook coach and producer. That's what I do for a living, helping nonfiction authors like yourself and through the process of creating and narrating a great audiobook that you narrate in your own voice. Okay, you have to narrate it in your own voice. All right, so what I want to talk about on Coffee Chat, we do this very open forum, but I do like to bring in some topics. I also like to hear from you. If you have a book, love to hear about what your book is about. You can comment about that and put it in the chat. But the question for you today is, because we're talking about narrating your own audiobook, what's stopping you? What is holding you back from narrating your own audiobook? Now, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest reasons I hear or excuses that I hear from clients and from authors that I've spoken with who most of them actually end up getting enrolled in the audiobook coaching program that I do coach, and which is something that, again, that I love doing and helping you create such a great audiobook in your own voice. But if there is something that is stopping you, what is that? What is that one thing? So let me share with you a few things that I hear that seem to be common with quite a few authors. Now, you put all this time and effort into creating a great audiobook or creating a great book. Okay, now maybe you're looking to turn into an audiobook, which is fantastic. You put all this time and effort, and you feel very comfortable, and you maybe put a great team of people together to help you create the book that you published. Okay, so the next step, of course, taking it to the next level, is turning it into an audiobook. But maybe you're hesitant about it. So one of the excuses, or what I do consider it an excuse, is this. I think about this. I hate my voice. I don't like how I sound. That is not, as far as I'm concerned, a good enough reason to not narrate your own audiobook. And the easy way out is, of course, let me just find a narrator to do it for me. You need to narrate your own audiobook, okay? You need to do it, especially as a nonfiction author, because no one can speak your story better than you, all right? No one can tell your story better than you. You lived it, you've breathed it, you put your heart and soul into the book that you have written, whether it's a memoir, and especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a coach, if you are an educator or a teacher. Maybe you have a service that you provide, a coaching program, maybe that you've talked about in the book that you've written, or maybe you have products that you offer. It only makes sense for you as the author to narrate your own audiobook because no one can express and, as I say, tell your story better than you. But especially if you have a business and you offer a product or service, why would you have another narrator talk about your product? It's yours. You own it. You're the entrepreneur. You are the CEO of you. So the best business decision that you can make as the CEO of your author brand is to narrate your own audiobook. So, as I mentioned, don't hate your voice. Love your voice. Embrace your voice. That's part of what makes you so unique. That's part of what makes you you. Okay? It really is important to preserve that author brand because you are a brand. All right? You're not a hobbyist, you're not an amateur, you're a professional. If you've written a book and you've published a book, you're a writer and you're a professional and you are now an entrepreneur. So welcome to entrepreneurship. Embrace it. Embrace your author brand. And again, part of your author brand is your voice. Your voice, technically, is already in your written word. Your style, your sense of humor, your pacing, everything that encompasses who you are as an author, it's already in your book. It's already in the written word. So you're just bringing it to life with your actual voice. So don't worry about how you sound. You are fine because that's part of your author brand. If you think I sound too grovelly, or I have an accent, or whatever it is, don't make up excuses. Love your voice. Embrace your voice. Okay? Love this wonderful sound that comes out of your body. Love this resonator. All right? Your head is a resonator that helps create the sound that comes out of your body. So love it and embrace it. It's a great thing. Your voice is a wonderful thing. So don't use that as an excuse. I'm interested to hear, what are your top 3 barriers that are stopping you from narrating your own audiobook? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, put it in the comments. Let's see. Another thing that I hear is, this actually, I don't really consider this an excuse. Sorry, I'm making some adjustments here. But it is something that does need to be dealt with. And it is something that I talk about in my audiobook coaching program a lot with the authors that go through the program, because it's not just, coaching. What I coach doesn't just involve, this is how you set up your home studio. This is how you do this. This is how you do that, and just kind of walk you through the process. There's a lot more that's involved with that. And part of it is confidence, building confidence in yourself. As I say, loving your voice, right? Loving your voice and appreciating the sound that you have, but you have to embrace it. And part of embracing it is having confidence. And one of the aspects of lack of confidence, and I understand this, is that some people have a fear of speaking. You may be a great writer, but maybe you're not a speaker. Maybe you don't like being, in public. Maybe putting a microphone in front of you makes you nervous. And that's understandable, and a lot of people go through that. But what I try to do as a coach is help you overcome these fears and break down those barriers by getting focused, all right? By coming up with affirmations, which is something that I do with my clients. Write out 10 affirmations about yourself, about your voice, about you as an author. Build that confidence, because what you want to do is just get rid of the fear, or at least push it aside to make room for some positivity and some positive affirmations that will help you build confidence and do a great narration and be confident with your narration, because you do need to have that air of confidence when you narrate your audiobook, because that comes through. And that confidence helps build your authenticity, and it makes you sound more conversational, and it really enhances your author brand. All right. So fear of speaking, again, is something that is a real thing. And if you have it, that's okay. We go through the motions of having you do certain tools and techniques and utilizing exercises that will build your confidence. And that's something that we talk a lot about in the audiobook coaching program. So confidence is important, okay? So don't hate your voice. Have confidence. And this next thing, I don't know if people have used it as an excuse or not, but I'll tell you this. Don't say it's too hard. It's not too hard if you have the proper guidance. Now, I know authors who have tried to do their own audiobook because they're like, hey, how hard can this really be? You're going to set a mic up and record, and there you go. Of course, there's a lot of aspects and a lot of moving parts to creating an audiobook, which you need to be aware of. It's great to have a coach because that coach is there to help you and guide you to make sure that you're doing the best, that you're sounding the best, and that you are in the right frame of mind before you even hit the record button. That's just incredibly important, okay? So you can do it, and it's not as hard as you think as long as you have proper guidance, all right? The other thing that I hear as an excuse, or, I kind of consider it an excuse that authors use. It's like, I just don't have the skills, which is not true, honestly, because you do have the skills. So then you have to ask yourself that question, why? Why would I even ask that question? Why would I even say, I don't even have the skills? Why would you say that? You had the skills, or you developed the skills to be an author and publish a nonfiction book, or maybe you're working on your book now. So why wouldn't you not have the skills to narrate your own audiobook? Because you do. You really do. And again, it does start with confidence. It does start with mindset, because you have to be in the right frame of mind before you even hit that record button, okay? It's super, super important. But you do have the skills. Even if you're a speaker, all right? If you go out and you're doing speaking engagements and you're talking about your book, or maybe your coaching business or whatever you're doing, but you are able to go out and do these speaking gigs, that's great, because that will help you, of course, with your narration. However, a speaking engagement is different from doing audiobook narration, okay? There is a difference. I recently worked with a client, and she was like, I do speaking gigs all the time. This should be a piece of cake. And then she realized, wow, it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different thing, and it is, okay? But having some speaking skills behind you does help with the narration process, okay? Because there are some basic tools that you have in your toolbox already, which is great. But if you don't have any experience as a speaker, or doing public speaking, or maybe, what am I trying to think? Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But it doesn't matter, because you do have the skills. And again, having guidance and someone to coach you through it will definitely help you. All right. Those are the main excuses that I hear quite a bit. But I do want to say that if you are considering doing an audiobook, I'd love to talk with you about your book. And I would love to tell you more about my audiobook coaching program, which of course is called Your Book, Your Voice. Just like the podcasts that I do, which I am going to tell you about. I got a great podcast coming up today, so I don't want you to miss that. But if you want to book a call, let's talk about your book. I talk to all my authors who enroll in the program before I even, we always talk before I enroll anybody, because I want you to resonate with me, and I want to resonate with you as well and help you with your audiobook. So book a call. For those of you on Instagram, by the way, if you go to my profile page, there's a link there that you can book a call. It says audiobook consultation call. It's my calendar link. Schedule a call with me. We'll love to speak with you and talk to you more about your book. For those of you on YouTube, let me do this. I'm going to, let's see here. I want to put the link in the comments, so you have it there. There we go. And then for those of you on YouTube, let me see if I can do this here. Oh, hold on. Let's do this. Sorry, I gotta make some adjustments here. All this technical stuff here. Bear with me, my friends. Okay. All right. Now let's go to our LinkedIn page. Just want to pop that in the comments there as well. And done. Okay. All right. That was a challenge. Anyway, would love to speak with you. Okay. I mentioned about podcasts. I definitely want to talk to you about that, because we have a great guest. I do the Your Book, Your Voice podcast every Thursday, And tonight, the podcast, my guest is going to be media specialist Angel Tussey. She is awesome. She is the podcast booking guru. She has a business called Need a Guest. Maybe you're part of her Facebook group, which is called Need a Guest. You should join that group if you want to get hooked up with people who are looking to be on podcasts, because people who are looking to be guests and also people who do podcasts post on her Need a Guest Facebook page. Check it out. But she is going to be my guest tonight, and we're going to be talking about podcasts, of course. And she's also an experienced book coach and has done a lot of things, and a best-selling author and publisher. So we have a lot of great things to cover on the podcast tonight. And I want to tell you about it because every Thursday we do the podcast and we do it live. Okay. And I would love for you to join me live so that you can get in on the conversation, and you can call in or post comments, ask questions. And this is a great opportunity to learn all about the podcast world and how you can enhance your author brand and your business. So join me tonight to catch the live stream. It's on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. It's the best place to catch it live. Okay. And just go ahead and click on their YouTube channel, and you go where they say live for their live streams. Whoops, and almost knocked my mic out. And you'll be able to join the podcast. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's tonight, Thursday, tonight. We do this every Thursday, by the way, the podcast, but don't want you to miss out on hearing media specialist Angel Tussey. She's awesome. All right. Up, there we go. Got my graphics there. All right. So again, join me for the podcast tonight. Book a call. Would love to hear from you as well. And one more thing that I want to share with you. And again, for those of you on Instagram, just go to my profile page and click the link, because it's one of those link tree links where you'll be able to book a call. You can join the podcast live. There's a link for that as well. And of course, I want to share this with you, and that I have a free audiobook narration reference guide. And you, again, on Instagram, you can grab it there as well. Just get your free guide. And there's a lot of tools and techniques that I have as this free download. It's a PDF download talking about the practical aspects and also the intangibles, right? The emotion and the energy, the things that make a great audiobook. And these are good little tools and techniques that you can have as a reference guide when you narrate your own audiobook. All right, so make sure you grab that. You can also go to my website, which is at robertlanecoaching.com, because you can book your call from there, and you can also grab your free narration guide from there as well. All right. So again, join me tonight for the podcast, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. And again, we're here every Thursday to do coffee chat. It is open forum. So if you have any questions about the audiobook world, how to do an audiobook, how to narrate your own audiobook, all that stuff, then this is the place to hang out. All right. This is why we do this. And if you have any topics that you want to discuss, let me know. Shoot me a message. Post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right. And so that's just about it for this edition of Coffee Chat. Again, appreciate you hanging out. I do want to leave you with this. Okay. And that is, I'm going to stop the scroll here for a second there on LinkedIn and YouTube. All right. So here's your assignment for you on Instagram, and of course for you here on LinkedIn and YouTube. When you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, even give them a compliment. Because that 5 or 10 seconds it takes for you just to smile and say hello to somebody can make the world of difference in their life. So be good humans. All right. That's my assignment to you. All right. Thank you again so much for following me. Please, for those of you on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I post constantly. I do a lot of posts about great techniques that you can utilize to help you do a great audiobook. And of course, on Instagram, thank you so much for your follows and support as well. And on LinkedIn as well. We'll say goodbye to our LinkedIn and not Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube friends first. Again, thank you so much for tuning in.